let us consider the case of the square root of 2. Now if I put this into my calculator, it tells me a massive long number, so 1.414213562 ... and it goes on forever. This is not a rational number, so it goes on forever. It can't be expressed as a ratio of two integers, and this is called a surd. S-U-R-D, surd. So that's a surd is a root that cannot be simplified as a rational number. And there are all sorts of these, so we can carry on. So the square root of 3 is 1.73205 ... goes on forever. Square root of 5 is 2.23606 ... goes on forever. Square root of 7 is 2.6457 ... goes on forever. I don't expect you to remember these, obviously. But there are quite a lot of them. So if we consider the case of, so these are all surds. So if we consider the case of, let's say the square root of 8, if we're trying to simplify that, then we can separate that out into square root of 4 times the square root of 2. So that gives us 2 times the square root of 2. And mostly you want to leave surds in the root form. Now don't go writing all this out, because however many decimal points you use, it's going to be inaccurate. So if we've got the square root of 2 is roughly equal, if we round it, let's say to 3 significant figures, so that's 1.41, roughly. That's fair enough, but if we say if we do it the other way around, 1.41 times 1.41 is actually equal to 1.9881. So that's actually, that's quite different from 2, which we're aiming for. So that's just an example. Okay, so in general you want to leave surds in the root form. But also, as you're doing that, it's considered good practice to leave surds in the denominator of a fraction. So for example, if we ended up doing a calculation and our answer says 3 over square root of 2, then we'd want to change that to get rid of this surd in the denominator. So how would we do that? We'd do it by multiplying by square root of 2 over square root of 2. So then we'd have 3 times square root of 2 over square root of 4, which is 3/2 times square root of 2. This is mostly preferred by most people. Okay, so I just wanted to introduce the idea of the surd, which is an expression that cannot be simplified to a rational number, and we like to leave it as a square root or a cube root or whatever. And there are some common ones, these square roots of these numbers in between 1 and 10. Now, of course, there are some other roots which are rational numbers, even if they have a lot of decimal places. And in that case, the rules are less strict about leaving them as roots. You probably want to do that then as well.